Yes, those ominous tones mean only one thing, that it's the Dark Mark Show. Welcome to the lighter side of the dark side. I am Dark Mark, the goth comedian. Very special show today. Fortunately, Hannah will not be here, but we want to wish her the best. Hopefully you feel better. And she's on my mind, so I'm sorry. But she won't be here, but we have a very special guest, and Hannah's going to be kicking herself. Hopefully you come back on the show when you're back in town.
Yeah, definitely.
I think you and Beth come on the show together.
Oh,
I think
that'd be fun.
let's do that sometime when you get back.
Yes.
Anyway, who I'm talking to now is an amazing singer-songwriter, amazing voice, amazing story. If you know her, you know that's the case. If you don't know her, prepare. And Trevor, our producer, I don't think is aware of you. Wait till you hear this. Wait till you hear.
You're not. No.
But you're already
So not
impressed just
surprised.
hearing the sound checks. And he's nodding his head. Yes, this is the wonderful Terra Naomi.
Hello.
And Tara, before
Are
you
we
get
supposed to look at the camera?
no,
How does that work?
No. Just look at me. We're gonna have
Oh,
a
good.
conversation.
Okay, good.
No, because I always make that mistake every time.
Yeah.
I was filming a movie last night, which is why I couldn't go to your
Yeah.
hotel cafe, and I always I'm just such a narcissist. I always look at the camera when I'm filming a movie. Do you do that?
Yeah. Well, because you know it's there, and you're like, I don't know. I mean, someone has to tell me don't look at it, and then
Right.
I don't know. I'm not an actor, so I don't.
Mhm.
I'm not. I think
You've done
actors,
some acting though, right?
No. I mean, yes. I mean, growing up, I did.
Yeah.
I did a lot of like musical theater, and then I went to school for opera. And actually, it was really funny. I'm gonna make a long story short. But I was asked like maybe 7 or 8 years ago. I was relatively new to LA, and I had just come back from London actually, and so I forgot how everything works here. And a friend of mine had started dating a guy who was like a very well-known television show creator, and the
You're
first.
not gonna name names.
No, I hate that. I'm
All
like,
right.
I'm not. It doesn't matter. Just know that he was fucking like massive,
Yes.
right?
He's in the.
He's like a star maker, right?
Okay, so he's in the J.J. Abrams like.
Huge.
Yeah. Okay.
But more mainstream.
Oh, okay.
And so like,
Mm.
and I
Shonda
grew,
Rhimes.
well, no. Yeah,
Okay.
I was trying to keep it secret by saying he when actually, no, but like I grew up watching his shows.
Oh,
and
okay.
So,
Stephen Cannell.
nope. No.
Stephen Bochco.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Oh my God, did Stephen Bochco do Cop
Rock the musical.
I remember that when I
Right.
was a kid. I remember seeing it. It was on. It was the kind of thing I thought I might have dreamt it because it was on. Like I remember watching, seeing an episode
Yeah.
as a kid, and then I was like, "Did that really happen, or did I dream that?" Because then it was gone. It was
it's got to be on YouTube now, though.
Oh my God, it was so amazing. I remember seeing that and being like, "Is this?" And then it was gone, and so I couldn't ever find it. And I was like, "Oh, well, maybe I just made that. Like maybe that was a dream I had."
It was a gritty musical about policemen.
It was so good. It was like, freeze.
Yeah. Stop or I'll shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, you're under arrest.
And they're
It was amazing.
It's the villain and the criminal and the cops were like tap dancing around.
Oh, it was
and-
so good. It was like a dream come true.
right.
It was really like the most absurd thing.
Well, they're
I'd
bringing
ever
back
seen.
every '90s show, so they might bring that one
Oh
back.
my God, if they brought back Cop Rock, I think it's a good way to like.
It's better than Murphy Brown. Come on.
Yeah, but wouldn't it like? I think it's a good time for Cop Rock. It
I
would
think
like
so.
encourage some like goodwill amongst like all of us are like terrified of the police right now, and so maybe if they brought Cop Rock back, it would like
See, that's $1
like
million
bridge
idea.
the gap between everybody and the cops.
I think that's $1 million idea. Seriously, because when Cop Rock was on, there was no musical movies.
Yeah.
Now there's musical movies.
There are so many musical movies.
Yeah. The musical's
Yeah.
dead for a long time, and then
Everything's a musical now.
yeah. So there you go. I think you're onto something there.
Should I reach out to
I
the
thi-
friend? Oh, I totally messed
Yeah.
up my story.
Yeah. So what's
though.
the story? I
so
forgot.
the story was
We got derailed at the Cop Rock.
Yeah, if everything could only derail to Cop Rock, and everything just like ends up at Cop Rock, then like
You
I
have
mean,
the right to
yeah.
remain silent.
yeah, it was so amazing.
I'm so embarrassed singing in front of you. But go ahead.
No, but we're sharing this memory that
Yeah.
was such a formative memory for me. In as far as it made me question my sanity for like the first time of many times. But yeah, so we were at brunch, or I can't remember. We were somewhere. The brunch was the worst. I put my foot in my mouth. Like I totally accidentally insulted him, and it was so embarrassing. But when we first met, we were talking, and he's like, "Oh, you're so adorable." He's like, "Do you act?" And I was like, "No, I'm a singer." And my friend's like kicking me. And he's like,
Yeah.
"When someone like this person asks you if you act, you say yes."
Right.
Like, you don't say no, because then it was just like, oh, okay, you know? And it was such a funny moment. I was like, oh, yeah, I didn't even think about it. I was just like, no.
So you could have been on Sex in the City.
You never. No, it was after that. It was way after that. This was only 8 years ago.
Oh, 8 years ago. Okay, I'm trying to think.
But if it had been like 30 years ago, I could have been on Sex in the City.
No, I'm thinking. Yeah, no, I'm just trying to, because we were back at Cop Rock. I was trying to work my way. 8 years ago. I don't know if I.
I'm saying you got it.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying.
His new show, whatever his new show is.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I mean, who knows? But I mean, he just
bingo.
wanted to know if I acted.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, no.
See, you could have been a star.
You know. I mean, I blew it. I totally blew it.
Well, it's never too late. Maybe you've never aspired to an acting career.
No.
No.
I mean, it's like being a musician is painful enough. I don't need like one more form of rejection that I just subject myself to on a daily basis. It's like, I feel like it's masochistic enough to try to be a musician.
Well, you're married to an actor, so you see it every day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's like, I think like the only people I always feel worse, you know, for are comics.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, well, being a musician is really shitty a lot of the time and really, really like awful in so many ways.
Right.
I mean, and I love it, but it's just the stuff that you choose to be subjected to, you know, as a musician, putting yourself out there. But then I'm like, oh, but at least I'm not a comic.
Yes.
Because that would really suck.
Yeah, it
seems
rough.
like it sucks. I mean, like no. I mean, I love comedy.
No, I know.
But I just feel like everyone I know who's a comic is just like, I'm miserable.
It's a tricky one.
Yeah.
It's tough. Well, I mean, you're putting yourself out there not accompanied by music. And even the greatest comic, you know, with you, even if somebody maybe doesn't like your song or doesn't like your politics or whatever, they can't deny the talent. A comic, somebody can always deny your talents.
Oh,
they can always not laugh. Yeah.
But yeah, that would suck too.
Even as good as you are, and as much as you kill, there's bound to be that one person that's not laughing, and that's the one you always focus on.
Oh, that's the same for musicians.
Yeah.
Like with YouTube, when I first started to get a lot of attention on YouTube, and it was my first time getting lots of feedback, you know, and all of a sudden I was getting like thousands of comments and emails and messages a day.
Right.
And I would read all of them because I'm like, I want to respond to everybody. And most of them, I would say like 90% were really good. And then like 10%, they were probably 12-year-olds too, by the way. Like sitting there behind their keyboard being like, your nose is ugly, you know? Like, yeah, no, but it was like, you know, they went there. They went low.
I was looking at a lot of your YouTube comments.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, she's hot, you're really hot.
But those aren't the ones that you pay attention to, you know?
And one said, this one stuck out to me because it was unlike, you know, she's amazing or she's hot, was she reminds me a lot of Kurt Cobain in that she has so much talent and so much darkness.
Oh, I never saw that one.
Yeah, that was on. I think that was on. I think you're okay. I'm not sure.
To Know I'm Okay.
No, it was on the Time After Time cover.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That was dark.
Yeah, I guess.
Like they haven't seen anything if they think that's dark.
Yeah.
That was Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah. No, so that was like, and most of the comments were it's amazing. You know, there were a couple of the originals better, but I mean, you know, that's a matter of opinion. But,
oh yeah, you're always gonna get the original.
Yeah. But, I mean, and that's that's what they know.
I mean, and I agree. It's like my cover that I made when I was bored in my bedroom, you know, is not meant to compete with Cyndi Lauper. I mean, give me a break.
Well, but I think your voice is better. I think your voice is better.
Well, that's
a matter of opinion. Yeah.
It's a matter of opinion.
So her voice is great.
I love her.
I love her too.
She's amazing.
Before we get started, and we've already gotten started.
Sorry.
No, I just wanted to get it out of the way. We have three sponsors. We have Hillary's Vanity, and if you want to dress up in some really killer cop clothes, or get a parasol, or just go to hillary'svanity.com. They have some of the most stylish, fun clothes from size XS to 4XL. They got stuff I can wear, stuff you can wear, stuff everybody can wear. And they Hillary just opened a store, 1018 Hollywood Way in Burbank. Burbank's actually coming up and it's really cool.
Cool.
It's to the Melrose.
Okay.
So it's right across from Porto. So go down there. Or if you're not in the LA area, go to hillary'svanity.com. HILARYS vanity.com. Don't say vain like it's a bad thing.
No.
Go to Hillary's Vanity.
Yes.
Audible. If you go to audibletrial.com/DMS, for the Dark Mark Show. audibletrial.com/DMS. Free book, free 30-day trial at Audible. Just found out Bob Newhart's got a show on Audible for subscribers where he interviews comics like Sarah Silverman, Will Ferrell. It sounds like a great show. Judd Apatow's on there.
Cool.
Who wouldn't want? And that's exclusive to subscribers. If you go to audibletrial.com/DMS, you have access to that, and you get a free book. And you can cancel anytime, but I bet you stick with the trial for all their shows. They have comedy albums. They have Uncabaret.
Uncabaret's on Audible?
Oh, they've got so many Uncabaret things on Audible.
I didn't know that.
Speaking of Sex and the City, they had a special Uncabaret with the writers from Sex and the City.
Oh,
that's on Audible. So if you
really?
go to audibletrial.com, I know you're going on the road, so I know you probably listen to audiobooks. So
Yeah.
go to audibletrial.com/DMS.
Cool.
Get a free book and a free 30-day trial.
Cool.
And also our friend Lionel Monroe Hat Company on Instagram.
Hat Company?
Hat Company.
Oh,
Hat.
cool.
So it's summer. I'm bald. Get a hat.
So I can get a parasol and I can get a and a hat.
Yeah, we're trying to dress you up. So we got.
Okay,
I got it all.
I see. I'm like taking the hint. I'm like, I know I'm wearing my overalls. But,
No, you look great. You look great. Okay, so Terra Naomi, and we'll start. Thanks to the wonders of Facebook. God, I'm so glad the stock dropped today.
Wait, what happened? Oh, the stock dropped?
Stock dropped like seriously like Mark Zuckerberg lost $100 billion today.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah, it just took a nosedive.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so because I want to go back to I want everybody to go back to MySpace because that was fun. But
I liked MySpace too.
like thanks to the wonders of Facebook, I know your real last name.
Oh.
Now is Naomi your real name or is that a pseudonym?
No, that's my middle name.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got rid of the last one because it's long and it has a silent D and it's just like nobody
can pronounce it.
Yeah, and if you say like your name's Engelbart, people are like Engelbert Humperdinck.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
And that sucks. Like I don't. It's like
you don't want to be associated with Engelbert.
I mean, whatever. I mean,
Yeah,
whatever. But it's just like
different
no.
kind of music.
Yeah, maybe the old school Engelbert, because Engelbert Humperdinck was like classical time too, and then this like cheesy lounge dude.
I'm
took
not
the
up
name,
on
too.
Humperdinck, honestly.
There are like several Engelbert Humperdinks. I might have dreamt that just like Cop Rock though. I don't know. Like, I feel
think
like
Engelbert Humperdinck was on Cop Rock.
I know. I think I might have. I'm like, wait, is this true? No, Engelbert Humperdinck was like a classical composer. I think. I could be making that up completely. I might be like mixing my signals here. My wires.
He's kind of like Tom Jones in that he started out like as a really good.
The second Engelbert Humperdinck.
Okay.
The one who took his name, I think. Don't quote me on this.
Okay, so there was an Engelbert Humperdinck before there was an Engelbert Humperdinck.
Yeah, like I feel like there was an old school Engelbert Humperdinck.
Well, okay.
That might have been like a classical composer or something.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, like that might have been like a dream, just like my Cop Rock.
Okay. Well, I think we're going to get to a lot of dreamy territory today.
Yeah, it just might be outright untruths.
So you grew up in upstate New York.
I did.
On a farm.
Yeah, for the first couple of years.
Yeah, see, that's like me. I grew up. I was born in New York City, but we moved when I was like 3. So everybody's like,
"Yeah,
oh, you're from New York." I'm like, "No, not
you're
really."
Like, kind of not
No.
at all.
So you're not really a farm girl.
No.
Yes.
My parents grew weed. We weren't.
Really?
Yes.
That explains a lot.
They named me Earth. Yeah, and I mean, we lived on a farm, but like we didn't have cows. We had like they grew carrots and like marijuana plants.
And that was when it was illegal.
Yes.
But they were at upstate New York. There's a lot of.
I guess
people
them.
look the other way.
They hid them in the carrots, and then and my dad they had this big vegetable garden, and there was a part of it that was like all weed. And my cousins, my dad. It's totally unnecessary bit of information, but but like, I always like to clarify. So like my dad is younger than his siblings by like 15 years. And so his nephews are actually closer to his age. So he would have his nephews, because otherwise that would sound kind of shady. Like his nephews came out to, but he and his nephews were very close in age.
They're all, they're all on
and
the same
so,
age.
right. So the 3 of them would like, oh no, the 2 of them, sorry. One of them was sort of conservative and one of them was a total hippie. And so they were twin brothers. And so his nephew, Brian, would come out to the farm and they were growing the weed out there. And one day, and my dad is really neurotic. He's like has a major anxiety disorder.
Yeah.
Forever. And so here he is. He's like doing something illegal, And he panicked one night. He swore that he saw like men in black suits like walking around the perimeter of the farm.
Wow.
So he panicked and he went out and pulled out all the plants like in the middle of the night. Like went out and just pulled them out.
Don't tell me he smoked it all.
No, he did. I don't even know what he did with it. Like, I mean, I think it just died or something. I don't know. Like my cousin came back and he said he was very upset. He came back to check on the weed.
And it was just carrots.
It was gone. It was like all pulled. My dad freaked out and panicked.
Yeah. Have a carrot. It's like, it's not the same.
You can't be like a successful drug grower if you were like going to freak out all the time. You know what I mean?
I didn't know your dad was Walter White. That's it.
He's so not. I mean, yeah, that was his one experience. He's like a good Jewish boy.
Yeah.
And he just like decided he wanted to grow his own weed. And then he like, that was
as,
the problem.
as good Jewish boys are wont to do.
Right. And then also as good Jewish boys are very likely to do, like freak out and be like super neurotic.
Right.
You know, it's like Woody Allen growing weed
or
something.
Yeah.
You know, he'd panic or like, I mean, my
make
dad's
sure there's
not
enough
like
water
that.
on there. You know, yeah.
No, like someone's gonna, he got nervous. He got nervous about police and like, I really doubt they were up there, checking in on Carl Engelbart's weed garden.
I don't think so. Yeah.
But he got scared.
Unless it was it's a small town. The sheriff's got nothing to do. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. But what I heard, and maybe this is the weed. I don't know. But I think this may have something to do with the weed. But I heard that when you were an infant, you were singing.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
How's that
weird.
possible?
I don't know.
You were singing before you're talking?
Yes, this is true. It's actually true. Yes.
Do you know what you were singing? Did they know what you were singing?
Okay, so there are a couple stories about this. One, so at first, when I was 8 months old, I wasn't singing words. I was just like vocalizing like la la, like la la.
You're a musical genius, but you're not that much of a musical genius.
I wasn't I wasn't talking, but I was singing like melodies, and that freaked people out apparently. And then when I was like a little over one, I sang Happy Birthday, which also freaked people out. I sang Happy Birthday to like my dad or something.
Wow.
And yeah, it freaked somebody out with that.
You'd heard it and you internalized it.
Yeah, I just learned Happy Birthday. I don't know.
Wow.
And then yeah, I mean, I started talking really early and like I never shut up. So,
I can see that.
Yeah. So,
So that's amazing.
I just never stopped.
And then you took opera?
Yeah.
And see, this is where what you're telling me is not congruent with what I've been reading, because I've been doing a lot of research on you.
Oh.
I've been immersed in the Naomi world all week.
Wait, what's not lining up?
Well, the town that you grew up in.
Yeah.
You said there was only jazz and classical, but you live with hippies.
Yeah, but they weren't really hippies. I mean, no, we listened to, there wasn't only jazz, we didn't only listen to jazz and classical.
Okay.
Like as far as training goes, I wasn't aware that I could like go to school for rock music.
Right.
I didn't realize. Like if I'm going to go to college and study music, I have to study like classical. That's the education part of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize I could go to someplace like Berkeley,
Right.
But no, I mean, we grew up listening to a lot of non-classical mostly.
I would imagine,
But also my parents weren't like, they weren't
a
like
lot of Grateful Dead, Pink Floyd.
No. I mean, my parents weren't really into the Dead. That's like, it's like they were more into like John Denver.
Oh, okay.
And John Denver and James Taylor, and then ABBA.
Well, everybody loves ABBA. Everybody loves ABBA.
ABBA, whatever.
Everybody's mom likes ABBA.
Yeah, like I just lots of car rides with ABBA playing in the background.
Right.
But then like also lots of James Taylor, and my dad loved Johnny Cash, like a lot of old blues stuff and old country, Merle Haggard, and like a lot of really old Willie Nelson and stuff.
Right.
That's really what I grew up on.
Okay.
I didn't grow up on classical music. I just didn't know that like if I wanted to be a singer, I thought that was what I don't know. That was. I don't know what my problem. It wasn't the internet,
That's
I couldn't like go on and watch YouTube videos and be like, oh, there's like now it's like every 12-year-old's a songwriter because they go on and watch YouTube and they're like.
But are they a good songwriter?
Some of them are. You'd be surprised.
Yeah. Some of them aren't.
A lot of them aren't. I would probably say most of them aren't, and then the ones that are just like, what?
Yeah. Right. No, it's just it's the same way. Same way with comedy. You see a lot of bad, but then you're like, what's going on there?
Are there like 12? I feel like there aren't 12-year-old comics though.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
Oh sure.
But they don't know. I feel like comedy, you have to have like your life has to get crazy first before you can be funny.
That's what I think. But that's the people don't. Here's the thing. And I've said this on the show, and I think I said this to our mutual friend Beth Lapidus.
Yeah.
This is the reason I met you, because I saw you at an Uncabaret show.
Yes.
I haven't been on a cabaret show in a long time. Went for the comics. They were good. I mean, she always has a stellar lineup of comics.
I love it.
But what blew me away was you
Oh,
as the musical
thanks.
guest. You
Thanks.
sang a song, and we're still trying to figure out what that song is. But my friend Ruth, who came with me, was sobbing next to me, and I was holding back tears myself. It was like literally out of Mulholland Drive. Like you were singing, and she was sobbing, and I was holding back tears and holding her. That's how moving it was.
Sorry.
No, it's good.
Oh,
It was
God.
it was cathartic. You saw how she came up to you after the show,
Yeah.
and how I came up to you after the show. It was a very. I mean, it's a different. I mean, it's not comedy, but it's a different. I mean, when you affect people on that level, when you make them cry, I've made people cry. During my one-man shows, not everything is my act is comedy.
Right.
I've made people cry, and
Right.
I sort of feel bad. And also, I've done poetry readings where I've made people cry. And once again, it's a mixed feeling.
Yeah.
You don't want them to cry, but then you're glad that they share that experience with you.
Oh, I think
you touch
it's
that
good
emotion.
for them.
Yeah.
It's good for them because that's why people go to see art because they want to feel something.
Right.
I mean, not everybody. Some people go to see Justin Bieber or something, and they're probably not there to have a cathartic experience.
Right.
But a lot of people go to see art because it's they maybe can't access their emotions the way we can, you know, and which is a blessing and a curse. It's it's great. Yeah, it's great to be able to access all of your emotions all the time, and it also sucks.
Right.
So, but that's what artists are good at, you know? That's what we can that's what we have to give is to connect people with the stuff that they might not just readily connect with otherwise. So I think it's good. I mean, I've never had anyone come up to me angry that I made them cry.
No.
It happens a lot actually. And
they usually give you a big hug.
Yeah,
a
and
big
they're
long
thank
hug.
you, you know, and they're it's they felt something. And it's not always that they're crying because they're sad, you know? It's they're crying because they're moved.
Right.
And so that's not bad. I love when I see, I mean, I cry I cry at everything. I cry at commercials.
Yeah.
There's, it's my husband laughs at me all the time because we'll look over if there's any moment in a movie or a TV show or anything that's even mildly touching.
Right.
He'll just start looking at me like just waiting to see if I'm crying.
Yeah,
And I always am. He just teases me.
Yeah.
You know, he likes to tease me and make fun of me for crying. I cry at dog adoption posts on Facebook.
Cop Rock.
I probably would cry at Cop Rock at this point. I mean, maybe not. No, I think I would just love Cop Rock.
Right.
I just would love it.
Yeah.
Stephen Bochco, if you're listening.
I think Stephen Bochco passed away, but
Oh shit.
yeah, that's anyway. But what I was going to say is, I told Beth when she was on the show, and I've told other guests that in this day and age, because music, and we're going to talk about this because this has a lot to do with you.
Yeah.
Because you are, don't take this the wrong way. You're the Dane Cook of music.
Really?
And let me tell you why. And it's
Help me out with that one.
Okay.
Isn't he a total bro?
No, this has nothing to do with the acts. He found a way on MySpace to remarket comedy.
I see.
And whether you like his act or not, and actually he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
But his act is his act. It's high energy. I'm not that into it, but he found a way online to connect with fans and to really become a superstar.
Right.
And really sell. And you were a pioneer.
Yeah.
You paved the way for Justin Bieber.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
Let me. People don't know. Let me
Sorry.
explain. Well, and other people as well. But in 2006, you were the #1 musical artist on YouTube.
Yeah.
You had a song that was inspired by Al Gore.
Yep.
And the Inconvenient Truth movie.
Yep.
And say it's possible. And I'm glad I got that right. I was just like,
totally
if I get that far.
You're killing it.
Yeah.
You're killing it.
Okay. So, inspired by the Inconvenient Truth, Say It's Possible. You put the video out on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it just exploded.
Yes.
People responded to you, and they came out with their own videos and their own cover songs, and it just became a big sensation.
Yeah.
And why do you think that song resonated with people of all the songs that were on YouTube at the time?
I think it was a couple of things. I think it was a lot of things. I think it was partly about the song. I think then it was also partly about seeing this girl who was sort of relatable and people going, oh, wow, maybe I could do that too. You know, I think it was inspiring to people to see someone doing something that nobody was doing. And they're like, oh, well, she's sitting in her apartment, you know, with a guitar and just putting these videos up, maybe I could do the same thing, you know?
Right.
I think that was what a lot of it was. I think, I mean, I think the song's a good song, but like,
Yeah.
it had to be more than just that, you know?
Well,
I think.
I mean,
don't know.
seeing you live,
Hmm.
I mean, and seeing everything that I've been, I've been all the media and all the things I couldn't imagine anybody looking at you and saying, "Oh, I could do that."
Well,
Your voice is
you'd
that.
be surprised. They
Your
all
voice
thought
is
they
so
could.
distinctive and so ethereal. And I was going to
Thank
ask you, 'cause
you.
obviously you've had training, you've had classical training, you have
Yeah.
had opera training,
Yeah.
but the voice, it's unlike any voice I've ever heard.
Oh, thank you.
And I mean, I'm sure I'm not the first person to tell you this. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a trained quality, but there's something indefinable.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out who you sounded like, and I was listening to other. I actually went and started listening to Beth Orton and other people, and I was like, she doesn't sound like her at all. But there's that weird quality.
I think I sound. Some people have said that sometimes there's a quality that sounds a little bit like Dolly Parton, which I take
Okay.
as like a super compliment.
I know that's one of your heroes.
Love her. And then another one, like I'm just thinking of anybody that anybody's ever said I sound like. Another one would be Patty Griffin.
I
People
can
have
see
said
that a
I
little
sound
bit.
a little bit like a little bit like Patty Griffin, a little bit like Emmylou Harris, and a little bit like Dolly Parton is what I get a lot.
Okay.
I mean, not a lot, but like
It's very country,
when
but
people,
it's not
yeah.
country.
But I don't sing country music.
You don't sing country.
No.
So you think that's what it is? You're bringing that country dynamic to.
I don't know.
So.
I don't know. I think I was also just really, really like relatable.
Mm-hmm.
Really, and
Yeah.
I think it was. I don't know, you know, and I think it was also like this lo-fi quality in my videos, which was just purely not. It was not intentional at all. It was like I didn't have lights, so I took a lamp and I tipped it over, and it like made this really like bright shadow on my face, and like it was just kind of like I had this curtain from Target in the background
Right.
that like, and I think it just people. I don't know. You know, who knows why something connects with people, right?
And it's so weird. I mean, it's so weird in 2018 to think
Yeah.
of all of the artists on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because now YouTube has a music channel.
Yeah,
They're
totally.
streaming.
Totally.
You were number one.
Yeah.
P. Diddy was number two.
Yeah.
Which I can't believe he was that number two in 2006. But okay. I mean,
He
you
got
were
on there.
you
He
were
got-
higher than Metallica. You were higher than Guns N' Roses. You were higher than
They hadn't discovered it yet. I mean,
Britney
you know,
Spears. You were higher than everybody.
those people weren't going to go on and make YouTube videos. You know what I mean? What
Right.
happened was like the major labels then found out about it. All the labels found out about it, and just it became another platform.
And they started
for
putting their
promotion.
videos. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like then, you know, but for a minute it was like actual like people that you could discover that, you know, there wasn't money behind it. It was just like actual people doing something and we had a chance to be seen and heard as well, which was really nice because now you can't cut through, you know?
To tell me about it.
Yeah, it's like there's so much out there that like anything that breaks through at this point usually has a ton of money behind it.
Mhm.
And even if it looks like, even if they, you know, say it doesn't,
Right.
it does.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I'm sure there is the odd exception here and there, but
Right.
I don't know anybody.
But based on that,
Yeah.
because I saw an interview that you did on the Today Show
Oh, yeah.
years ago.
Was
and
I wearing like a horrible green dress
I don't recall, but
with really bad hair and they made me look orange?
is that what happened? I don't know.
They do your makeup, you know?
No, I know.
It's the
Yeah, I'm
worst.
sure. But the guy seemed like really befuddled, and it was so weird to I mean, because YouTube's so much a part of our lives now.
Yeah. Yeah.
That like it was so like
yeah.
it was so weird just to go back then. It's like, wow, they got these kind of things on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah.
And look at this OK Go video. That's amazing. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. And that had money behind it. You could tell.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think, right?
Yeah, I mean, somebody was
Production
choreographing them.
value
Yeah,
was
the
pretty
production
high.
value was
Yeah.
fine. But you were thinking. So based on this, from what I understand, and so you signed to a major label.
Yeah.
Island Records signs you.
Yeah.
Big deal.
Yeah.
You know, a historic label. Bob Marley was on it. U2 was on it.
Yeah.
And
This is Island in the UK. People
Island in the
think
UK.
Island here is like Island Def Jam,
okay.
you know, so it wasn't that. It was Island Records in the UK, which was the one that like Bob Marley and
Okay.
U2 and
Right.
yeah, that was that one.
And they put out an album.
Yeah.
And from what you've said in interviews, and I'm sure this is a bit of an
I'm afraid.
exaggeration, you kind of alienated your YouTube audience.
Yeah, I think I did.
Well, first off, the album cover's shitty. I got to be honest.
Oh, the one for the major label album?
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's awful.
It's the worst. They were trying to
You
make me
look
into
you look
something.
awful.
I
on
look
the,
pissed, right?
You look so pissed on the album cover.
I think I knew. I mean, look, when I first landed in London, when I first had my first week at the label, I went in for meetings
Right.
with everybody, and like the head of marketing was like, sat me down. He sat down in his office.
Look how miserable you look.
Oh, well, also, like, I wasn't eating. Do you see how skinny I was?
Oh,
I was,
yeah.
like, wasting away because some, like, London shop girl was, like, made a dig at me because it basically said, like, insinuated that I was chunky. And so then I just, like, stopped eating, and they're like, oh,
You look like you're falling asleep.
fabulous.
Look at this, Trevor.
Yeah.
How bad is that album cover?
I know, it sucks. It totally sucks. Look, I'm not gonna deny it. It sucks. Like, the whole thing sucked.
No, but here's the thing. I went on Amazon.
Yeah.
All 5-star reviews. There's good songs on there.
Yeah, the songs are good. The production's a mess.
Yeah.
It's like a hodgepodge.
I was listening to the
mishmash.
Vicodin song on the way here.
Yeah.
And it was weird because there were sounds. Like, I thought, like, I hit something or there's something going on the road.
Yeah.
But it was like the background strings and things and
There were strings on that song?
something like that. Yeah, I don't know what. I think there was like a cello or
remember.
something. And
Really?
I was like, but it was an awful
I don't even
cello.
remember. I blocked it all out. I think I blocked everything out.
Yeah, because it was like I'm listening to the song, I'm digging the song, you and the guitar, but there's like these weird sounds and they're going all over the place.
Oh, yeah. There was a lot of weird sounds happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that I don't think you alienated your entire YouTube audience.
No, I think it was like, so I was telling you, like, so I got there and this guy was like sat down and he's like, he put his hands on his desk. He's like, so tell us about this YouTube. And I was like, oh, shit. Like, that was the point when I was like, oh, I'm totally screwed. Like, they didn't even know what it was. Like, they were curious. They were like, well, what is it? How does it work? You
So
know?
you think they signed you to get some insight into YouTube?
No. I mean, that would have been they could have, you know, that would have been a pretty expensive way to get educated. I think they signed me because they thought they saw the momentum and they thought, great, we're gonna like throw a record out and just like put this girl into like the machine,
Right.
and we know how to amplify this. I think they had good intentions. I think they, you know, really thought that, and well, that was what I thought. I thought, look, everything I built on my own with nothing, with
Right.
like no money and no support. I didn't even have a manager or anything. And I'm like, you know, I think my thinking was, if I could do that on my own, then if I hand this over to the professionals, they're gonna
they'll
like,
sell more than Thriller.
yeah, it's like, it's like you know, oh, if I could do this on my own, like, what could they do? And
Yeah.
you know, and the reality was like the magic of it was of everything that I was doing on my own. And then when I got there, it was sort of like, oh, don't be so accessible. Do you want to be a rock star? Do you want to be a YouTube star? And like,
Right.
they didn't understand, you know, wasn't this constant contact. Like there was no Twitter. There was
Right.
now it's like,
There's MySpace.
yeah, there was MySpace, but there wasn't like the constant interaction. You know, there wasn't like the constant dialogue and the accessibility of everybody.
There wasn't
now.
a phone.
Right. There wasn't a smartphone. Right.
You had to go on your computer to get on
Yes.
MySpace.
Yeah. So it's like you know, now it's labels can't buy that. You know, like they pay for that kind of exposure, like connection to people, and there's
Right.
people running social media accounts trying to like be accessible all the time and whatever. And but back then there was much more of a like if you're a musician, if you're a rock star, like you're not supposed to be accessible. Nobody's supposed to really relate to you. You're supposed to be like, you know, they're supposed to think that you're much better than they are, and like, you know, and I wasn't that way at all. I was like, here's how you play my song, and you know, making videos of like how to play it for people
Right.
and stuff, you know.
Did they do a video for Say It's Possible?
They remade the video that I made with my friends.
Okay, so just a bigger budget and
And it sucked. I mean, it was like the original concept was an original concept, and it was
Right.
super cool. And then they're like, well, that worked, and let's make it better. And so then there was like flashier production, but like the same exact idea with having people write in, you know, what would you do if anything
Right.
were possible? And like they just did the same thing.
But
like,
it wasn't the people writing it. It was a guy scriptwriter doing it.
No. It was actual people.
Oh, okay.
There were actual people that wrote in, like a second round of people, which was actually, that was cool because we couldn't fit all the submissions in on the first video.
Right.
So then this was like another opportunity for people to get their stuff in that like didn't get in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
But then it was like the same concept, and I was doing the same thing. But now instead of being like in my crappy overcoat under a bridge in LA, I was like all dressed up in like this red dress and tons of makeup, like in the streets of London. And it
Right.
was just so weird, you
Right.
know? It was just, I don't know. I think they thought it was going to be an easy, kind of like an easy grab. Like, okay, well, this girl has all this momentum. We're just going to like throw an album out there and everybody's going to buy it and it's going to be great,
Well, let me ask you this too. You were signed to the label around the time Amy Winehouse was signed.
Yeah.
How did they, and maybe in the reality they didn't do it right, but how did they push her in the right way and push you the wrong way?
Oh, it's just a whole different trajectory.
Right.
I mean, a lot of it has to do with your team, honestly. Like if you have people around you that kind of like understand who you are and help are like advocates like for you and for what you want, that's what you really need. And actually, to be honest, it wasn't even the label that did anything wrong. The problem was I then started. So I didn't have a manager when everything blew up on YouTube, but I was in a production deal with the guy that made my album, and so like the producer. And so then he was sort of like, "Well, you should let me manage you because nobody's going to care about your career the way that I do." And and so I was like, "Okay." And so then I was managed and produced by the same person, and I just and I didn't. And it was crazy because before that, to be honest, I have like. Everyone that I knew, we were having all these conversations about how I needed to get away from this person because the demos that he was doing were not right. And like, I mean, my lawyer and my brother, like everybody were like, and I just was so guilty. Like I felt so loyal and guilty. I didn't want to be that person that like, he was the first person that paid me, that was like, oh, I see. He wasn't the first person that was like, oh, you're talented, but like he was the first person that was, that
said I could take your career in the next step.
Yes, exactly. And so I felt really loyal to him. And they were like family. I came out here, I didn't know anybody. And he and his family were like family to me. They were like almost like parents or something, And it was really hard for me to get away from that. And so instead of breaking away, I like doubled down and made him like my manager too. It's just like all the dumb mistakes. I've made all the dumb mistakes. I actually really like that. I'm actually working on something right now to share so much of this knowledge because I've done everything. Like I've been an independent artist, I've been a major label artist, I've like, played Wembley Stadium, and I've played for like 5 people in a living room, and like I've booked my own tours, and I've had tours booked by CAA, and like it's like I've had all these extremes and like everything in between, and I want to like share all that with people because there's a lot of stuff that. Like, there's a lot of people, like, writing books and telling you how to do stuff that have never actually done it before. Right. Because, like, most of the time, if somebody, has been a major label artist or whatever, like, they're not going to necessarily tell you how their experience was if it didn't go great, Right. They're not going to, like, give you the access to their contracts and, like, show you the deals and stuff. What's going on?
No, I was just, nothing's going on. No, okay. Hannah's fine. I just.
Oh, good.
Yeah. No, I was because I'm trying to time out when you're going to sing.
Oh,
because I'd love to hear you sing.
Sure, whatever.
And I was trust me, there's so many more questions I have for you. But why don't we since that we had that awkward pause?
Okay.
And Trevor told me there was about a half hour left. I say, I know it just goes by so fast.
It goes by so fast.
I know. But what song are you going to sing now?
Well, why don't I play Machine Age?
Because that's not your latest single, but that's a newer single. Yeah. And that was inspired by what's going on these days, politically.
Yeah, I was thinking about it last night. I played last night, and I was thinking about this song when I was on stage, and it's like, it's a protest song, right? And like protest song is almost like, I write a lot of songs that would be considered love songs and like sort of heartbreak songs and like emotional catharsis kind of songs, and I feel like protest songs are kind of all of the above, because it's like, obviously in order to protest something there has to be some expectation or some feeling of love that's been just totally crushed, you know, and in this case it's like the state of our country.
But this goes back to Possible, because I was also inspired by politics and what's going on, and you were able to put a very loving spin on what really is a bad situation that needs to be fixed. Yeah. And go right ahead.
Okay. I woke up in a new America. Back when I went to sleep, the pain I felt now seems so sweet. I was pounding my fist on the prison door of privilege. Now I'm longing for the walls that held machines don't feel emotion, they're indivisible as hell. And they do what must be done to keep our nation safe for some. Damn those hippies who convinced me there was room for everyone. America beautiful, please shed some grace on me. 'Cause your purple mountains, spacious skies are only for the free. They mean nothing if they're out there only for the few to see. Lady Liberty held hostage while the Brotherhood decrees. There's always been a dirty game that way, nothing's really changed. But I didn't see this coming, no, I guess I looked away. No, I swear I didn't see, I guess I must have looked away. Our screams are a reoccurring theme. And I screamed so many times, I used my voice till I was hoarse. And don't tell me I'm a poet in a machine age, when you've programmed all my words into a lifeless machine brain. No, we won't be overwritten, no, we will not be replaced. When they come knocking on my door, I swear I'll chase them all away. Singing my belief in love is so much stronger than your hate. My belief in love is stronger than your hate. And I believe in love more than I want to hate. I believe in love more than I want to hate. I believe in love more than I want to hate. I believe in love more than I want to hate. I believe in love more than I want to hate. I believe in love more than I want to hate. I believe in love more than I want to hate. I believe in love more than I want to hate. I believe in love more than I want to hate. I believe in love more than I want to hate. Thank you. Thanks.
There's something about you singing live that, and I've listened to your entire Spotify catalog this week. Thankfully, I'm still under that 3 months for $1 thing, but
No.
so I don't know how many pennies you're going to get out of that. But
That's okay.
well,
Take it.
we can
I'll
talk.
take any pennies.
We can talk about that. But there's something about you singing live that I don't think has been captured in the studio.
I agree. Well, the new stuff hopefully is going to change that.
Okay.
But yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Well, I mean, at first it's because I wasn't working with the right producers. You know, I mean, it was pretty straightforward in that sense.
But even on a recent album, I know You're Okay.
Yeah.
Which is good, but then the acoustic stuff at the end.
Yeah.
That's the stuff you want. That's amazing.
Totally. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of times people kind of tried to put a much more pop spin on what I did, like kind of like a radio friendly kind of spin on it, and I don't know, like I always wanted to work in a way where I could really capture the rawness of what it is, you know, and the power of that. And I think really it's about me as an artist, you know, because like for whatever reason I didn't pick the right people, and I just didn't know. I think I didn't know what kind of artist I was. Like I did, but then it was like, I don't know. It all has to be about me as far as like why things didn't turn out the way I wanted them to, right? So it's like, I guess I just didn't know myself as well. I didn't trust myself. That's what it was, you know?
Right.
Like I didn't trust myself to go, hey, I know who I am. I know what I want to do. I know how I sound best. Instead, I was like, what do you think I should do? You know, like I was looking at all these people outside of myself to like validate me in like every way. And so when it came to my music, the same thing happened. It was like, oh, well, I don't really trust myself to make good decisions about myself. So, I mean, I really like hated myself
You're
for
an
most
artist.
of my life. You know, it was like, I mean, yeah, but it's like you can be an artist and like really know who you are and like insist on that. The best artists are, you know, the best artists. But I think like for some of us it takes longer, and for me it took a lot longer. I mean, I kind of had a weird stunted, you know, late teens, early 20s, like the time when you're really figuring out who you are.
Right.
My life was a mess, and so like I think it took me a lot longer to kind of figure out, just to sort my shit out and like figure out who I am and who I want to, what I want to say, and like and what it means to be the artist that I am, and not, you know, what other people think I should be. Just because the thing is, like, I can sing however I want to sing.
Right.
Like if you want to ask me to sound like Britney Spears, I can imitate any voice.
Okay.
I can sing like 4 octaves at least. Like
I believe it.
And it's like and any texture, like when I used to sing on commercials, that was what they loved, because they could be, okay, now be, you know, this style.
Oh really?
Now
This I didn't know. Now you sang on commercials?
Yeah, before I signed my deal, I did. Yeah.
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 Like
I loved it.
Anything
It was
I would
so
have
much
seen?
fun. Oh my God, probably like a ton of like McDonald's and Burger King and like.
So you're the one who go, I'm loving it. Like that was you?
That wasn't me. No.
Oh, okay.
Oh God, I wish. No. Oh my God, that would have been the best. I'd be rich.
Yeah.
But especially because back then it's like the residuals were amazing.
Oh yeah.
This was like before everything was a buyout, and SAG doesn't like, and nothing was SAG anymore. You know?
Right.
But nothing is now. But like.
I'm sure the I'm loving it girl is
yeah.
I think there's a couple voices on there, but.
Oh, I used to go into the studio to record those things. I used to make so much money just like going and singing for 2 hours, more than I would make in like a year otherwise. You know, it was crazy with residuals. It was nuts. But that's not really like that anymore in my experience. But like, because it was like 10 years ago, you know. So
now the big money is if you get your song on a TV show or you know.
But it's less and less.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends. If you're like super famous, then it's a lot still. But like a lot of times now, there's people willing to just do it for the exposure. And once that happens,
that's always the way.
Yeah. So like once that happens, it's like, oh well, you're not willing to do that for like $1,000, and you're just like, I thought this is how I'm supposed to make money now.
Yeah.
You know, because I thought all the other ways are no longer an option.
Right.
So.
Yeah. So, and I do have to get to this, but.
Yeah.
So, because you were talking about Wembley Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
From what I understand, Al Gore personally asked you to sing on the Live Earth concerts. That's the story.
Well, he didn't personally. So I met him at a party.
Yeah, because I thought like he texted you or something.
No. His office did.
Oh, okay.
Like it wasn't him personally.
All
it was
right.
the office of. It was Kevin Wall's office.
Hey Terry, it's Al.
Yeah,
what are you doing Saturday night?
No, but I did accidentally send him a Friendster request. Like, so it was when I was signing up for my Facebook, and yeah, it was like.
I know Al was on Friendster.
Oh, it was so embarrassing. It was like I meant to write Facebook. I was probably drunk or something, and I accidentally signed up for Friendster, which like I didn't have a Friendster account, you know, and I'm like, oh, and so I signed up, and I meant to sign up for Facebook. It must have been like 2000. Oh well, it was
2007.
It was at least, yeah, it was like 2007. So I was signing up for Facebook and my artist page, and I accidentally sign up for Friendster, and then it's like, do you want? And then I must have been drunk, because then it was like, and then I accidentally clicked the thing where it's like, do you want to invite everybody in your contact list, you know? And I somehow clicked that, and next thing I knew, I was like, oh no, and I'm looking at it just like,
Well, Al Gore got some spam. You want to join Friendster? Terra's waiting for you.
And I'm like, he probably even. I mean, like Friendster. I feel like my mom was off Friendster before then. Like it was like not a thing for a long time. I can't believe it was still active at that point.
Oh, okay,
you know?
that was the end of Friendster.
I mean, I think so.
Maybe Al Gore, like maybe he
was probably just catching up.
No, he probably like was the one that said, "Okay, knock off, get Friendster out of here." He probably talked to like some people in the Obama administration, and yeah, they took out the guy from Friendster. Who knows?
To make room for Facebook?
Yeah.
I don't. This sounds like some conspiracy theory shit.
I don't know. I don't have a. I can neither confirm or deny.
Okay.
But
oh, wow.
so you met Al Gore at a party.
Yes. Well, at the Universal Music Grammy party.
Okay.
So it wasn't just like I was going to a house party down the street in Echo Park or something. It was like, no. I mean, I had just signed with Universal and Island Records, and so the Grammys were in February, and I had just signed in January, and so they asked if I wanted to go, and I was like, yes. And so I didn't go to the Grammys. I just went to the party, the after party.
Oh, because he's a Grammy winner.
Yes. And in the Universal family.
Oh, okay. So you're on the same label as Al Gore.
Right. So, I mean, the movie, the studio, Universal, I guess, is the ones that released his film. And so...
And ironically enough, he did not have a parental sticker on his album.
He didn't.
No.
Oh, I did. Did I?
Probably.
I did. Yeah, because I had like...
Yeah, so I guess you didn't run into the tipper. But that's for the 80s kids out there. So you go up to Al Gore. Was he familiar with the song?
No, I told him about it.
Okay.
I was like, because I had just written it, I mean, I hadn't just written it, but like everything had just sort of happened, and it was just like blowing up. And I was like, I wrote this song, and it was inspired by your film, and I went to see your film, and I came home, and I freaked out. In the morning, I wrote this song, and it's changed my whole life, And like I'm here now because I just signed with Universal and Island, and they're gonna like release the album. And he was like, wow, what a story, And like these politicians, like they have such a way of making you feel like you're the only person in the world when you're talking to them. And he's really good at that. And so I was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. And it was just one of these crazy experiences.
And yet it's a little sincere and a little fake at the same time.
He comes across as super sincere.
Okay.
I mean, like, and I've heard the same thing about Bill Clinton. I've heard that like when you're talking to Bill Clinton, it's just like, you could swear that like he absolutely adores.
I've seen that in person. I actually did a vlog on the Hillary rally. And he went out. I mean, he didn't really talk to. He went out and took pictures and selfies with everybody.
Wow.
But you could see him really making sure that everybody
got
his attention. But the weird thing was, Steve Aoki DJ'd at it.
Oh wow.
This is honestly when I knew Hillary was going to lose, for better or for worse.
Oh no.
Because this was like a week before the election.
Oh no.
And people were there for Steve Aoki.
Oh
they
no.
were not.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I know.
Yeah,
it's. I mean, when I went to a Trump rally too.
Oh God.
And they were so into they were really into Trump, for better or for worse.
Oh God.
When I went to the Hillary rally, very apathetic.
Really?
Except for, like, there's actually, when you listen, I'll send you the video. You can hear on the video somebody's like, "I'm here for Steve Aoki."
No.
Like when Clinton's talking.
That sucks.
That's when I knew. But
is everything okay?
No, that's Hannah.
Is
and
she okay?
Let's ask. Hannah, are you okay?
Yeah, I just got home and got my phone.
Okay, you're on the air, and Terra says hi.
Hi, Hannah.
Hi, hello, hi everyone. Sorry about my little accident.
There's no apology necessary, but I did tell Terra what a fan of her music Grandpa is.
Grandpa's adorable, by the way.
Yes, and I was listening to it while I was doing my makeup before I was to leave to go to the show. It's beautiful music.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So let me call you in about 15, 20 minutes, if that's okay.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds good. All right.
Or, yeah, about 15 minutes. Trevor says hi, too.
Cool. Hi.
Yeah, and he's going to meet us at Bar Sinister next time.
Oh, all right. Cool. On Saturday.
Yeah.
Bye.
So Hannah's okay. Hannah had an accident. It sounds like she's all right.
Yeah.
Okay. So Al Gore's office contacts you.
Yeah. Well, it was the office of his production partner, Kevin Wall.
Did he produce the Live Earth concert?
Kevin Wall did.
Okay.
Yeah.
And by the way, this is Trevor. This is who was on the concerts. 80,000 people in Wembley Stadium. You know, some people you may have heard of, like Genesis, Madonna, Metallica, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Foo Fighters, Black Eyed Peas, and Terra Naomi.
and more people.
Oh, Spinal Tap.
I was just gonna say, Spinal Tap was
Yeah.
that was like the big one for me.
Okay.
Like I really didn't care about
Did
seeing
you-
the
did-
Black Eyed Peas or whatever.
Did they? I mean, because I heard all the bass players played on Big Bottom. I'm surprised.
It was amazing.
Yeah. Were you? Did you grab a bass or?
No, I
Okay.
didn't. I'm not a bass player.
So were you? I mean, backstage, were you amongst these people? Were you hanging out? Did you meet these people?
No, because I was so scared.
Yeah.
I was so freaked out. I was
Like you weren't hanging with Phil Collins and Madonna
I wasn't
and
hanging with
Fergie.
anybody.
Yeah.
I was sitting in my little dressing room freaking out.
I can
I
imagine.
was so scared, and I thought I was like, I had it's 80,000 people.
and not only that, Chris Rock and Ricky Gervais and some of the biggest comedians introduced the acts.
Oh God, I don't
Did,
even.
did anybody introduce you?
I think so, and some like the British press are the worst, by the way.
Why?
Like they're just really snarky. Like they love to say really snarky things, and like I mean, have you ever read like British tabloids?
Yeah.
They're the worst.
Mhm.
Like I mean, they're like really
Yeah.
they just go for it, you
Mhm.
know. And the press, like you know, the British humor is it's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's very sharp and very like smart, and you know, and like
Very
they're
cutting.
very cutting, yes. And like and if they you know they take digs, like
Who dug at you?
oh I don't know, some asshole. You know, it was just like, who the fuck is this? Like that kind of thing.
I'm gonna take a dump in their
but
fish
in
and chips.
British.
Who bagged on you?
I can't remember. I
Yeah.
don't know his
What
name.
did they say?
Oh, just like we don't like kind of like insinuating like, oh, who the hell is this? I've never seen her. Like, who let Al Gore pick the music? You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing.
And I was watching the clip. As
Yeah.
I said, I've immersed myself in everything, all things
Yeah.
Naomi, and I could see, just because I'm a performer.
Yeah.
I mean, if you weren't a performer, you couldn't see this, but I
Yeah.
could see the nerves for about a minute,
Yeah.
and then you had this big smile.
Yeah, did you see that?
Yeah.
Was so amazing. You know what happened was I looked up and that was such a clear point for me. I was so nervous.
Yeah.
Like I was just I actually told so I had this guitar tech and he was he was a very sort of famous football hooligan. So like,
Okay.
his face was like sewed back together. You know, he was like a thug. Like if people here they don't know the culture maybe,
Right.
but like the football hooligans, it's like
Yeah.
gangs. in
No,
the
yeah,
UK.
yeah.
They're serious. And he was he was named Deptford John. He was from
Ooh.
Deptford. You know, it was like he was like a real badass.
Yeah.
And now he was a guitar tech and super sweet
Okay.
guy, you know, but like his face looked like it had been
So this is like a gang member that became a guitar
Right,
tech
right.
in America.
right. Exactly.
yeah.
And so he was a big guy. And so
Yeah.
I was standing there with him, and he was real sweet, and I was standing there with him, and I'm like, dude, I'm so fucking scared. I'm freaking the fuck out. I'm like, if I pass out, and I was serious, I wasn't joking.
Yeah.
I was like, if you see me pass out, just come drag me off the stage.
Right.
And like my parents were there, and my brothers, and my aunt and
Mhm.
uncle, they all flew over from the U.S.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm afraid I'm gonna pass out on a teleprompter, like whatever. I mean, not teleprompter, the screens, the big
Mhm.
screens.
Right.
Jumbotron, whatever the hell they
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
I'm like,
You were big on the Jumbotron
Yeah,
at Wembley Stadium.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm gonna pass out and just like be on the stage, and everyone's gonna be like, "Whoa, what just?" I just was picturing. I was like
Yeah.
future tripping into the whole thing where I pass out on the stage at Wembley, and so like the first minute, I was so nervous, and then there was like this moment when I looked up and it hit me, and I was like, I saw the sky because it's an open, it's a stadium.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I looked up, and there's like a blue sky, and I just saw and I was like, and there's like, because while you're performing, sometimes you're also having a dialogue with yourself.
Right,
like
right.
You're talking.
Oh, yeah.
You're like doing what
Yeah.
you're doing, but you also are having a dialogue
Right.
simultaneously.
Trying to figure out what's next and yeah.
Yeah, and just like kind of observing and
Mhm.
commenting, and I
Right.
try not to do that. And I was like,
Seeing who's paying attention and yeah.
yeah, well, and so in this case, it was like me going, oh my god, don't just play your song, just don't fuck up, like don't pass out, and so I looked up, and there was the sky, and it just had this moment where I'm like, you're standing in front of 80,000 people, and on a sunny day in London, which in and of itself is amazing,
Mm-hmm.
and the sun is shining, and the sky is blue, and you're like here, and you're doing what you've been dreaming of doing
Your dreams
for
come
your
true.
whole life, and you better enjoy this. It
Mhm.
was just like and it just was like this voice going like, just just enjoy this for fuck's sake. You know what I mean?
And it's powerful. You can see it on the screen.
Yeah, and then it was and then it just switched, and then I wished that I could like play 10 more songs.
Right.
You know,
Right.
it was sort of like it was over so fast after that.
Yeah.
And then afterwards I didn't really hang out, and it was amazing. The backstage was unbelievable.
Did anybody go up to you, like a famous person, and say, "Oh, that was great"?
Yeah.
Who?
The best one. Okay, so all right, the best one. So I was one of the only people that got a sound check, not because I'm more special, but because I was so inexperienced.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, we better let this girl. Like my tour manager actually talked to the coordinator. You know, he was my sound person too.
Right.
He said, you know, she's never played anything even like, you know, a tenth of this size.
Mm-hmm.
And like this is her first time using in-ear monitors. Like it was my first time doing any of this. And they're like, and he's like, I really think that everybody would benefit if we give her a sound check. And so I was really one of the only artists that was allowed to do sound check, and it was the day before. And so I was on stage doing my sound check, and I see these guys walking up to me after I finished. And it was Christopher Guest and like the other guy from Spinal Tap.
Right.
And I'm blanking.
Harry Shearer.
Yeah. They're like walking up and they're like, that was just amazing. They're like, oh, that was so great. And I was like freaking out. I'm like, you're Spinal Tap. And then so that was crazy. But that wasn't even at the show. And then after the show, Jamie Lee Curtis came up and she's like, my daughter loves you. And and she was with Christopher Guest, and I was just totally starstruck. Because, I mean, I grew up on the, like, Fish Called Wanda.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, those movies were on repeat on the
amazing.
VHS.
God, where does the time go? I wish we could talk for hours.
I know.
Can I have you sing one more song?
Oh, sure. Yes.
And then we'll talk real briefly about your new album, and then I hope you come back. We'll have you and Beth come back.
That would be really fun. Maybe we can get Turner on, too.
Let's do it.
That would be really fun.
Let's do it.
Get Turner on, too, because he's fun to talk to.
Let's do it. And that show will go by even faster than this one.
Yeah, because there'll be two other people that talk as much
and
as
Hannah
I
will
do.
be here, and
we'll have to have a special 2-hour show to accommodate all these big mouths
I'll pay
people.
extra.
All these people.
Yeah.
Hold on.
And what is the song that you're going to be doing?
This one is called For My Last Number, and it's a song about a magician in a traveling circus.
And we think this is the one that made my friend cry. So
I'm pretty sure it is, because
it might make me cry. So I will stop yapping and let you sing.
I won't laugh at you if you cry. But I'm pretty sure this is the song. But it's called For My Last Number. It's about a magician in a traveling circus. In a dusty old tent 7 miles out of town, I set up my cards and the wind knocks them down. And I try for the people want to believe in miracles and magic and life's mysteries. Now I was born early, I always feel late. I never catch up to the promises I make. And my mama, she cried when I ran away. When her tears dried, it was just another day. And I made my living pulling rabbits out of hats, girls on white ponies and balancing acts. Now I have grown tired, no more tricks up my sleeve. And for my last number, I think I'll just leave. Once had a girl and I loved her a lot. She knew my mistakes and she sweetly forgot. Well, I tried hard to keep her, I wanted her here. But all good magicians make things disappear. And I made my living pulling rabbits out of hats, girls on white ponies and balancing acts. Now I have grown tired, no more tricks up my sleeve. And for my last number, I think I'll just leave. And I put that smile on the face of young girls and boys wandered into this place. The red velvet curtain hides all of my fears, and when the show is over, they all reappear. me something I want to believe. In this life of illusion, it's myself I have deceived. And a younger man's daydreams are quickly forgot. The tents all come down on a cold, empty lot. And I made my living pulling rabbits out of hats, girls on white ponies and balancing acts. Now time's made me tired, took the tricks from my sleeve. And for my last number, I think I'll just leave. Thank you.
And we're so lucky to have you because you're about to go to Atlanta.
Yes.
Now, I'm confused. No, you have a new studio album out.
It's not out yet.
Or it's coming out.
Yeah, but I mean, I recorded it, and I think I'm not going to release it as an album. I'm going to release it as a series of EPs, perhaps.
Is that going to be on one of the EPs?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
And you're doing a live album in Atlanta?
So I'm doing a show in Atlanta.
Okay.
And we might also record it and make some video content as well.
Okay.
But I'm going because my husband's doing filming a movie.
Oh, good for him.
So yeah. So
Your husband, Emmy nominee.
Oh.
Scott.
Yeah.
So
he's not a slouch.
He's no slouch, and he doesn't look in the camera.
No, he's amazing. He introduced me last night because he's like, it was very crowded and lots of talking. You know, people were talking in between, you know, setting up and stuff.
Right.
And he went on and was like, and introduced me, and he was so funny. And like, I got up and I'm like, I don't think I can follow that introduction. Like, he's so good. He's such a good MC.
And I'm sure he is, but I'll bet you did.
I think I did.
Yeah. So, how do people get a hold of you, and what do you got going on?
So
I hate to end the show. I have to.
Fine. Be that way.
I hate to.
I understand.
I think I'll just leave. Go
it's
right.
okay. It's okay. I totally understand. All good things must come to an end.
I know.
So I'm on all the social medias, you know, like Terra Naomi, Terra Naomi. It's like wherever people do social media, that's where you can find me.
Except for Friendster.
Yeah, no, Friendster. I mean, maybe we could try. So send me a Friendster invite, and we'll see if we can fire it up again.
Yeah,
we can like reignite we can do Friendster and we can do MySpace.
How awesome would it be if Al Gore did that?
What if he joined Friendster? No, I just had this image.
What if he's listening to the show and he joins Friendster and then he sends your
send me a friend request? That'd be amazing. I don't know.
And so Terra Naomi on all social media.
Yeah, social media. So yeah, if you live in LA, I'm playing a few shows in September at Hotel Cafe.
And Hotel Cafe is a great place to see a show.
I love that place.
Yeah.
It's a great listening room.
It really is.
It's great acoustics and everything. So yeah, and I mean on my website and Facebook and stuff you can find. I hate to promote Facebook. I hate it, but it's like I built my whole business on there.
TerraNaomi.com.
Yeah, TerraNaomi.com. Yeah. All the info's on there.
Thank you so much for coming.
Oh my gosh, thank you for having me.
So
it was really fun. Yes.
Much fun. And we got to do it again.
Yes,
Hannah,
we will.
Hannah, get well. And
yes,
I'm going to call you in a few minutes.
Okay.
Everybody, Goth Comedian on all social media, and have a wonderfully creepy week. Bye.
Bye.